everybody. And our next speaker is Andrew Gibson, Find Your Own 7-Day Weekend. Andrew Gibson.
Thank you very much, Richard. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hasn't it been a fantastic morning? I can't believe how busy it is. Who here is absolutely loving being here? Fantastic. Have you ever, though, had a weekend where you've not really been looking forward to Monday? Yeah? And you're sort of thinking, back to work. So, what I'm going to do today is try and help you to find your own 7-day weekend. Now, what do I mean by 7-day weekend? Well, on the weekend, we usually do the things we love doing with people that we love to be with, and we take pleasure from it. We have fun. So, what would be like if we could do that every single day of the week? Doing what we love doing, with people we love being with, having fun, and at the same time, making a living through doing it. Would that be a useful thing to be able to do? Okay. So, that's what I'm going to try and explain in 20 minutes. Everybody up for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're all here networking, yeah? Prospective networking, who feels like that? We're going to go do some networking, woohoo! Or who feels a bit like that? Oh, got to go networking. There's going to be all these people, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. Networking becomes a stress, it becomes a hassle. Well, there's a reason for that. Who here has had conversations like this morning? You have somebody in, they say, so what do you do? And you tell them, and you say, well, I'm a coach, or I'm an accountant, or I'm a plumber, or I'm an electrician. You then ask them the question, and they tell you what they do, and you're both absolutely fascinated. You exchange cards, and then maybe you say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll send you some information, or here's my leaflet, or, yeah, is that kind of conversation you're having this morning? Isn't it great? Do you not feel like that? No, don't think so. Well, we're going to do something which is just a little bit more useful, and I'm actually going to get you to do this live right now. But before I do, can I ask you, I've only got 20 minutes. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of my precious 20 minutes. So when I ask you to stop, please do stop and we'll carry on with the talk, okay? So I'd like you to just have a quick look and find somebody that you don't know, okay? Please don't talk to somebody you do know, because that's not networking. That's called going down to the pub without a drink in your hand. And I'd like you to just ask a neighbour that you don't know to tell you a story. So you're only going to have time for one of you to do this. Tell me a story of how you've helped somebody recently. So just think about that for a moment. And I'd like you to tell that story in 30 seconds flat. You ready? You set? Go.
How have you helped somebody recently? I have, yeah. So I recently helped a charity CEO who was under a lot of stress, had a difficult situation before, to navigate that situation, keep them forward like this, and come out the other side feeling refreshed and perfect. We've had practice, haven't we?
Thank you. I knew that would take a minute, that's why I only gave you 30 seconds. And if you just find the start of an interesting story, after the talk is finished, please, of course, carry on with the story and return the favour. Now, the question, though, is, to the person who's just listened to that really short story, can you now think of somebody who might need similar help to the help that's just been described in the story? Yeah? How many people can think of somebody that they can now introduce to the person they were just talking to? And that took 30 seconds. So, a really useful thing to do is not to worry about what we do, but to think about the people that we help. Think about the difference that we make for others, because that's what gets you referrals into people like those people. And if you're sharing stories about how you help people, then we can all be thinking of people who might need that help. And the more of those stories that you share, the more that turns into word of mouth business, and that's what this is all about. And that's called networking. Okay? Now you feel like that, don't you? And that's something you can do for the rest of the day, okay? Don't walk up to people and say, what do you do? And pretend to be interested. Walk up to people and say, okay, I can see what you do. Tell me a story about how you've helped somebody recently. And return the favour, and that will turn into useful networking for you. And there's a reason for this. We are all storytellers. We've had language, anthropologists reckon that we've had language for 700,000 years. And when we got past the grunting stage, we started telling stories. We'd share information in the form of a story. The oldest form of writing is cuneiform, found in Sumerian tablets, and they reckon that they are approximately 7,000 years old. So for 693,000 years, people have been telling stories. Only recently have we started writing them down. And by the way, if you want the cave paintings that have been found, the oldest known cave paintings are around 35,000 years ago, and that was the early version of PowerPoint. So if you think people have been bored standing with pictures, well, draw a picture, tell a story through a picture. And again, if you're giving a presentation, try and use slides that enhance your story through the picture. And what are useful stories? What are the stories that we want to share? Well, learning people's stories about how they helped others, those are useful stories. Sharing those stories are useful things to do. And they enhance the reputations of the people whose stories you're sharing. How many people saw the LinkedIn post I put up this week with all my stand materials? I did it on Tuesday, and I love this because I didn't realise that about 20 seconds in, my little boy who counted me in at the back, who was ever so good, he said, "Oh, Daddy, can I stand and watch?" And I was saying, "No, we have to be really quiet." And I didn't realise that 20 seconds in, he's hand up his and it's the cutest thing. I didn't see that till after I published the post. But I deliberately recorded a video that thanked all the wonderful people who helped me with all the stand material. I didn't have to say anything about me, though. I just thanked all those people. And I know that there are people coming now to my stand and saying, who did that, and quite a lot of them are here today, and I can make an introduction. There's useful stories that I'm sharing to help others, and I know that they are also sharing useful stories about me. And what happens, of course, is that when somebody spots a need, they can then refer someone with confidence. And here's the thing, we back it up with a story. We don't back it up with, well, this is what they do, and this is how they do it, and this is how much they charge, and their availability is this. That's called a personal assistant. If you're looking for introductions to people, they come from us sharing stories, doing what we've been doing for hundreds of thousands of years, just in a useful business context. And this is how it works. We are in the middle of our own network, and here we have a whole lot of customers and clients, and we want to get in touch with them. And the traditional way of doing it, of course, is to do marketing, do branding, and push lots and lots of stuff out there in the hope that some of it sticks. And we spend a lot of time focusing inwardly on what we do, and we try to make it different from our competition. But we have a network of people that we know really well. And if we don't have a network of people that we know really well, we can get one. In business, we've got suppliers, we've got clients, we've got friends who are in business, and of course there's tons and tons of networking groups around there, this being a fantastic example of how that all works. And you can build a network of people that you know and trust, and you get to know and learn their stories, and you share their stories as well. And then of course what happens? Those stories go out into your network. And you don't know what's happening with those stories until you get a phone call to say, oh, somebody says I should ring you because apparently you can help me with this. Or you get a phone call from your associate who says, oh, I've been talking to so-and-so and they need your help with this and they really want you to call me. And that's an introduction. And that's an introduction when somebody has a need, so that will turn into a business opportunity. It's a highly, highly productive way of doing it. So, what do we do with these stories? Well, the good stories are the ones that big up other people. I have a friend called Paul Furlong who writes, who has a blog, and if you come and see me on the stand, I'll share you the details with it, about the power of story. And he's interviewed loads of amazing people. Good stories, he says, make other people the hero. The way he describes it is, be the Obi-Wan Kenobi to somebody else's Luke Skywalker. Make them the hero, but by doing so, you'll be enhancing your reputation. You just won't be overtly doing it. Neutral stories, Well, for me, they're the kind of ones where you are talking about yourself and what you've done, and you're just going out and talking about you, and, you know, okay, there might be a bit of somebody else in there, but it's more about a bit more me. That's okay. I don't think they damage your reputation, but I don't think they do much for your reputation either, especially if people think you're just trying to sell to the audience. And then there's the bad stories. There are some people who will come to a fantastic event like this. Richard and Mona and all the team have put together this amazing conference. The pavilions have been fantastic in supporting all of us standholders and all of us delegates. There will be some people, though, who will find a little thing to nitpick about, and they will pop a post out on social media to say, whose reputation are you harming when you do that? Because it ain't Grand Yorkshire's, and it ain't the pavilions at Harrogate. It's just your own. If you can't, you know, everybody's parents used to say, if you can't find something good to say, don't say anything. Yeah? You can share good stories about what an amazing event this is, you can big up the Brand Yorkshire team, you can big up the venue, you can big up the people that you're having good conversations with, and in the process you will make yourself look good, while making them look fantastic. And what a great thing to do. So, some questions to ask to help you to develop this for yourself. So, thinking about what you do, who do you help? How do you help them? And most importantly, what difference do you make for them? Because here's the thing, if you can deliver a specific, measurable difference for people, especially if it's about saving time, saving money, or making money, that's something that they will pay you for. And it will be a return on investment argument. You're not a cost, you're an investment to get a return. And this is wrapped up for me by asking people to tell them a story of how they help someone. Because the answer to that will usually cover all those first 3 points. And here's the thing, if you love what you're doing, those questions are great. If you don't love what you're doing, well, what do you want? Who do you want to help? What's the thing you love doing most of all? Think about it, and then, okay, so who can I help with that? Who do I want to be helping with that? And how do I want to help them? What difference do I think it will make for them? And then maybe I can actually go and talk to some people and find out and set something up that gives me the evidence that this works, and then I can bring it out to the market as a return on investment type proposal. And then, of course, this coming back to your network, it is hard work to do this with every single possible client that's out there. But it is possible to do this with a specific set of clients. And if you're sharing stories about how you've helped people, chances are you've helped quite a lot of people who are in some way similar. If you're helping those people, they will start referring to people like them. So I work with a lot of charities, for example, and a lot of charities refer me to other charities. Why do they do that? Well, I help the charity professionally, I get paid for it, but the charities all have their own networks. They all get together at networking organisations. There's a CEWO, the Chief Executive's networking organisation, and so on. So they will be talking about, oh, how did you get on with that so-and-so? Oh, we got this chap called Andrew Gibson in there. And they'll tell their story about how I helped. And when they say, what did he do? Frankly, they won't have a clue, because it's not their core thing. But they'll tell the story, and maybe there'll be a phone call. Maybe there'll be an introduction, and maybe I can help somebody else. So this starts happening. And this is the maxim I would suggest we live our lives by. Do what you love doing, and the money will follow. There are many people who have built successful businesses to make money, but often their Monday to Friday is the daily grind, and then they have fun on weekends. And they spend lots and lots of money having fun on weekends to make up for the fact that they're miserable Monday to Friday. If you do what you love doing, the money's not important. You spend less money on making up for the fact you're not loving what you're doing. You can just have fun 7 days a week. And if you have to do some work on a weekend, well, so what? I had a charity board last weekend doing an improvisation game as a warm-up exercise. I had a great time. And the good news is, so did they. Big smiles on their faces, and a really, really productive workshop followed. But it wasn't a chore to be going out on a Saturday morning and doing some work with a client. It was fun.
Beckham could raise the roof here with a goal. I don't believe it. David Beckham scores the goal to take England all the way to the World Cup finals. Give that man a mitre.
Okay, who can tell me what date that happened? It was the 6th of October 2001, and I know that because it was my wedding. I'm a Scotsman. I'm marrying an Australian in Wales because it's neutral territory. And just after the wedding was finished, my father married us, he was a minister, he married us, ceremony had finished. I'm watching this with a beer in my hand. I have a wonderful wife. And England are about to go out with the World Cup. I couldn't ask for a better day. 6 minutes into injury time, England get a free kick. Watch the videos, it was really soft. And everybody knew that the man to take it was this guy, David Beckham, because he's an expert at free kicks. For those who are worried about focusing in on the one thing that you love doing and being specific about doing it, he's an expert at taking free kicks with his right foot. And by his own admission, he's not much crop at anything else. But he absolutely loved it. He practiced, he practiced, he practiced. To the point where every single person in that stadium wanted him to take the free kick. And all the people watching on telly. But most importantly, all of his mates on the pitch, all the backroom staff, this was his free kick. And look at what he did. And by doing that one thing and practicing and practicing and practicing, his net worth, last time we looked it up, was $500 million. He won 115 England caps, which is the record for an outfield player in the men's team. And he won 19 trophies in a 20-year career, including the domestic championship in 4 countries, the only player ever to do that. So if anybody says, I shouldn't be specialising on the thing I love doing because I have to make money to make a living, just be like David Beckham. Can we all be like David Beckham? Because we actually have a real life example of this in the room. Danny, would you do me the favour of standing up and waving to everybody? This is Danny Bradshaw. Danny liked David Beckham in so many ways, but number one was, he was really passionate about football when he was at school. He absolutely loved football. And he wanted to just do football when he grew up. But of course, all the grown-ups were saying, oh no, you can't do that. You've got to get a proper job. And Danny just wanted to do football. So he left school, got a job, and it wasn't a particularly exciting job, but they put him through an NVQ level 1, so he did sports coaching. And he, from that, then got a job as somebody who does sports coaching for kids at schools. And they put him through level 2, he then put him through a level 3, and he set up his own company. And this company is 5-Star Sports. And Danny now makes his living every single day doing football, with kids, helping kids play football. That's my son over there, second one in, with his thumbs on his back. Alex has played football with Danny now for about 4 years. He's a very, very patient man. And he absolutely loves it. He does holiday camps and so on. And Danny now is also branching out into helping corporates to have fun on team days, event days and so on. If you're interested, please do have a chat with him. Guess what, he's coaching this afternoon, so he's only here for another couple of hours. But make sure you grab him. I'm sure he'll be at my stand, but if not, he's a hard guy to miss. You can make your life doing the thing you love doing. You don't have to be David Beckham, you can be Danny Bradshaw. So the formula is quite simple. First of all, find out what you love doing and make sure you're doing it above all else. Work out how it helps other people, and work out who the people are that really need this help. When you've done that, help some of these people. Even if you have to do it for free, okay? If you're just starting out, you have to do it for free, that's fine. Remember, you're doing something you love doing. So you'll be happy doing it because you just love doing it. Learn and share great stories in your network and make sure that you have a network of people who are learning and sharing yours. And enjoy every single day as if it was the weekend. Leave that up for people to take photographs. And that's absolutely everything I've got to say. Thank you very much for coming to my talk this morning and enjoy the rest of this wonderful conference. Thank you.